fast to have some words.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of things that have been, the social media stuff, and I just have a lot of things to say, and I've thought a lot about what I want to say and how I'm going to say it, and I think I can just, maybe I'll forget something, but let's just discuss a few things. So, first of all, my accent, I'm sorry. This is just the first thing. This is just the most funny thing, because if you want me to speak like an American right now, I can't even tell. But for the last 2 years, I have lived in a suitcase traveling around Europe playing chess nonstop. I spend so much time working on chess that I simply don't go outside and socialize with people who speak fluent English. This is just one thing I want to talk about. Before I say anything, I have spent the last 2 years not spending any time in America, and even when I'm in America, I don't go outside other when I pick up my food. I'm just too busy with chess. So all these things saying that I'm faking an accent and that I'm putting on some facade, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever said. And if anyone is using my newfound accent to make any conclusions about anything chess related is absolutely insane. Because I don't spend any time in America. I only speak to chess players who have bad English. So you maybe think maybe it's a product of my environment. Okay, maybe that was a bit too, okay. And then, first of all, the Magnus opening. Okay, now let's get to that. So people were saying that there was no idea why I checked this. Well, first of all, people are absolute idiots because the explanation I'm going to give is going to make you all the top GMs look like total idiots. So the position, first of all, they said there was 0 game, there was a game. Check the database, there's this thing in chess called transpositions, okay? Now, when he played the move a3, of course I'm expecting the move knight f3. Now, let's say in the Catalan, no, let's show it because this is just embarrassing. This is absolutely embarrassing. And I'm sorry if I'm coming off hostile, it's just a passionate thing for me. So let's go to the, so after bishop, so let's say the Catalan,
with the knight f3 move order, you mean?
Yeah, so let's say you play knight f3,
okay.
d5, g3, bishop b4 check. Wait, there's a move knight c3 here. And then after castles, there's a move bishop g2. And after dc4, a3, bishop c3, bc3, c5. Here we have, in chess, we call it transposition. Now, let's say theoretically, Magnus has been playing quite a lot of Catalan recently. So perhaps I'm looking at the Catalan and I'm thinking, how is Magnus going to surprise me in the Catalan? There's this weird move knight c3. I remember some instances where he's go for these weird structures. So this is a perfectly reasonable thing. And during the moment, I did not think about it because it was such a small part of my preparation, but simply the pattern I recognized. And also I spent 15 minutes after the move a3. The reason I spent 15 minutes after the move a3, I don't know if the timestamps are there.
They are actually.
Yeah, so how much, there was one moment where I spent,
8 minutes.
8 minutes, okay. Anyways, I was thinking more from my hour 30. In general, I've spent 15 minutes. Now, after the move a3, take, and now I play dc4, at this point, since it's not a direct transposition, I should obviously take some time to make sure that the position is going to be transposed properly. Here, there's a move queen a4. I don't know, this is a move that I was concerned with in the game, but now there's bishop d7. I thought in the game queen takes c4, bishop c6, knight f3, and then I thought knight to d7. He plays castles, I thought bishop to d5, and then I play c5, and then I thought this was my plan. So I understood, at least not in most precise way, but I understood that there was going to be the move knight f3, thus leading to a transposition. So this is why I took some time. People are saying that I'm taking time and that I'm making up that I meant. I checked it because it's a transposition. I'm spending extra time to make sure that the transposition is correct because it's the world champion and he's just sprung a very dangerous trap. Now, if I don't know this, it can be very dangerous. But the fact that it's not a miracle, it's actually me being extremely tedious and going through every single possible transposition or sort of line that he could play in the Catalan. That's the first thing, okay? I need to, there's just so many things that so I think those are the main things. And then, okay, of course, and then the fact that my analysis is not at the level of a top player. In my game against Firouza, you need to understand that when I play the move queen to g3, I did not elaborate this during the game, this is a purely psychological move. If clearly people don't know anything about Firouza, his style, how to beat him, the way to beat him is to attack him. He really, really hates being attacked, and the main ways he loses loses is by being attacked. Now, we had a game in Miami where I got an attack, and he completely collapsed. And I studied previous games, knowing he attacked. So when I see the position, and I say queen g3, I think to myself, okay, I highly doubt, based on my intuitive feeling, that I'm losing here. I don't feel the need to calculate every single variation because I'm confident that there's no way first he's going to take, and if he takes, he's going to be shared shitless. Okay, okay. So that's this game. Now after the games, first of all, you're extremely tired, and it's extremely difficult sometimes to recollect the things that you're talking about, the moves, the variations. You know, it's not like I'm coming in here full of energy, right? And especially in the analysis, okay, you can debate full of energy, but like it's not. Sometimes you just forget things. So the notion that I simply can't speak about chess on a high level is completely ridiculous. I'm a very intuitive player. I made a gut call to play queen g3, and it paid off. And even if you look at the pattern of my games, you know, it's I'm clearly missing many chances, and it's extremely human chess. Now, okay. So this is, I think, is that everything about the interviews? Have I covered everything?
It's up to you.
No, I have because the interviews have been a key point. So that's just something I wanted to cover, that people are ridiculous about interviews. Okay, like my accent is, I can't even realize because I'm numb to it. But this is not a facade. I'm sorry. I just don't socialize much because I work so hard at chess. Like I'm literally sorry. I delete all social media. I sit inside. I study chess, and I leave to pick up my delivery food twice a day. That is my life. I enjoy it. Okay, and if my English is not as native as it is, sometimes I'm sorry, but when I speak to, let's say, an American friend, it comes right back, right? It's something subconscious. So maybe now it's coming back. Anyways, so in terms of the interviews, that's fine, right? So now I noticed throughout social media, a lot of people who I once had respect for, who I once sort of looked up to, a lot of my heroes have decided to hop on this bandwagon. Now, there have been a lot of speculation, and there's been a lot of things said, and I think I'm the only one who knows the truth. So there's a few things that need to come to light. So first of all, there's the situation with Chess.com. Now, people have said that my Chess.com was banned twice. Okay, so this is what happened. When I was 12 years old, I was with a friend, and I was playing Title Tuesday. And I was playing, and he came over on an iPad with an engine, and I was 12 years old, and he said, you know, he started giving me the moves. I was a child. I had no idea what happened. Now, this happened once in an online tournament. I was just a child, and nothing happened then. Now, 4 years later, when I was 16 years old doing my streaming career, in an absolutely ridiculous mistake, in unrated games, after that, when I was 12, I have never, ever in my life cheated in an over-the-board game, in an online tournament. They were in unrated games. And I'm admitting this, and I'm saying my truth because I do not want any misrepresentation. I am proud of myself that I learned from that mistake and now have given everything to chess. I have sacrificed everything for chess, and I do everything I can to improve. So I'm going to get started. Basically, I wanted to gain some rating. You know, I just wanted to get high rated so I could play stronger players. So I cheated in random games on chess.com. Now, I was confronted, I confessed, and this is the single biggest mistake of my life, and I'm completely ashamed. And I'm telling the world because I do not want any misrepresentation, and I do not want rumors. I have never cheated in an over-the-board game. When I was 12 years old, I have never, ever, and I would never do that. That is the worst thing I could ever do, cheat in a tournament with prize money. Now, I made that mistake, and it's not something I was doing consistently. Never when I was streaming did I cheat. Never did I misrepresent my strength. So I made this mistake. I was confronted by chess.com. I had fully admitted, and I stopped playing chess.com. Now, what I want people to know about this is that I'm deeply, deeply sorry for my mistake, and I know that my actions have consequences, and I suffer those consequences. During that time, I completely stepped away from a very lucrative streaming career. I stopped playing in all events, and I lost a lot of close friendships and relationships that meant a lot to me. So I assure you, maybe I did not suffer, but I'm putting myself in the public now. I could be ruining my reputation for my life, but I want to tell the truth. Now this happened. I'm deeply, deeply ashamed of it, but keep in mind, I was 16 years old. I never wanted to hurt anyone. These were random games. I would never could even fathom doing it in a real game. Now, unfortunately now, there has been a targeted attack, and some recent events have made it really, really difficult for me to not stop speaking. After the game against Magnus, obviously Magnus puts this tweet, clearly some insinuations, and then everyone starts to pile. I get an email from Chess.com saying that they've privately removed access to my Chess.com account and that they have uninvited me from the Global Chess Championship. Now, 3 days ago, I met with someone very high up in Chess.com at the Stingfield Cup, had amazing words. But because of this game against Magnus, because of what he said, they have decided to completely remove me from their website. Now, this is after I have already fully admitted, and they have the best cheat detection in the world. They know that I'm not a cheater, and that I give everything to chess. I work so hard, and chess is my entire life, okay? Now, if they're going to try to think that I'm going to be silent about what has happened, it is completely ridiculous. I met with Danny Wrench at Miami, and Danny Wrench was the person who confronted me, and I was deeply, deeply indebted to him for handling the ban privately and giving me the chance to redeem myself. Now, after being not playing in Chess.com events, I went to over-the-board tournaments, and I decided to myself that the only way to make up for my mistake was to prove to myself and to prove to others that I could win myself. Now, that has been my mission, and that is why I've lived in a suitcase for 2 years. That is why I have played 260 games in 1 year. That is why I've trained 12 hours a day, because I have something to prove. And now that Chess.com has suddenly decided to hop on Magnus's insinuations, Hikaru's very direct accusations, now they see the opportunity, okay, we're just gonna get rid of this. I believe that this is completely unfair. This is a targeted attack, and if you look at my games, this is not, it has nothing to do with my games. So why do you specifically, why does the CEO of Chess come to me and say, we're looking forward to having the Global Chess Championship, we're looking forward to you playing on our events, and then right when I beat Magnus, they decide to remove my account and not let me play in their tournaments. This is absolutely ridiculous, and they've only done this because of what Magnus has said, what Hikaru says, and that the entire social media and chess world is completely attacking me and undermining me. And they maybe would think that I would be afraid to tell the entire world that I cheated in some random games, and I cheated in a tournament when I was 12 years old, but I'm not afraid. Because I know who I am, and I know the chess player that I am, and I know what I give to chess. So I'm not going to be scared, to be manipulated, and to be conspired against, to try to ruin my chess career when I know what has happened. So, you know, as far as Magnus, this is absolutely, the fact that he did it without saying it, he knew the insinuations that would follow. If you look at social media, every single platform, I'm getting thousands of messages, not thousands, sorry, there are thousands of tweets, everyone is attacking me. And some people are defending me, and I really appreciate those. But when I see people attack me with absolutely zero evidence, people have zero. I'm the only person who knows what happened, and I'm telling you guys that this is the truth. Now, I really do not think that I would have the courage to say this, but some people, I'm very thankful to the people who helped me make this decision. And you know what? This is the truth, and I really and now Magnus can and Hikaru. Hikaru, I've never ever cheated against you in an online game. Never happened. And the most ridiculous part, is that the same players that in this tournament are insinuating that I'm cheating have also made insinuations about people who are making insinuations about me. So let's just say the people who are saying these things about me, they're not that innocent themselves. So it's very ridiculous. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but the main thing that I want to say is that I am not going to let Chess.com, I'm not going to let Magnus Carlsen, I'm not going to let Hikaru Nakamura, the three arguably biggest entities in chess, simply slander my reputation, because the question is, why are you going to remove me from Chess.com right after I beat Magnus? Just what's with the timing? So I would, first of all, again, I'm deeply, deeply sorry for what has happened. It is the biggest single regret of my life. And even now, to look back on it, I can now recognize myself. To give context, I was 16 years old. I don't want to make excuses, but I was living alone in New York City. It was the peak of the pandemic. And at that, I have been financially independent since I was 16 years old. I left my family, and I was living alone at 16. I had rent to pay, and I wanted to, and I was willing to do anything to grow my stream. So, of course, I made a childish mistake, and I will have to live with that. But I'd rather live with that with everyone knowing the truth instead of people making simple, speculation about me, because this is the full truth, and I'd like to see if everyone else can actually tell their truth.
When Chesscom sends you this email, did they give a reasoning?
No reason.
They just informed you?
No reason. They said, I tried to log in my Chess.com account. I wanted to check the games, and they said, I couldn't log in, sending me email. A few hours later, they've rescinded we have privately, so they didn't want to ban me publicly because then they had to give a reason. And they think that they can scare me because they think that I'm not going to talk about it because I'm afraid to admit this. But this is an online, I did this when I was 12 years old. And then other times I did, it was not even in over the World Tournament, it was not even in a prize winning online tournament, it was in absolutely random games. And I understand that some people might lose respect for me for this, but it is my greatest mistake, and everything I've done in the past few years has been to make up for that mistake. And that is my entire purpose as a chess player, is to prove to myself and to others that I'm trying to do better. And I hope that my results and my commitment and my hard work has shown that I have learned from this, and that I learned my lesson.
Hans, how does it feel to play the rest of the tournament knowing that everything here surrounding the Singfield Cup? Magnus left, and clearly something is happening. How are you able to focus?
Because obviously after the game, I open social media and I can't get my eyes off it, because every single person in their whole family has an opinion, and of course you sort of get dragged into it, and I'm reading it, and it's obviously was really disheartening seeing so many people. And, I would like to say, this is one anecdote. When I was 8 years old, Magnus Carlsen came to an exhibition in California, and my mom took me there. I just started, or maybe I was 9. I just started playing chess, and he was doing a blindfold simul, and there was an auction to bid on it. And when they were bidding on it, it got up to $1,000, and it became too much. And my mom was like, no, if you really, really want it, we'll do it. She was going to make a financial sacrifice so I could play. And I said, no, Mom. One day I'm going to play him for free. Okay? And instead, I got assigned big chess piece, and that happened. But to me, to see my hero, to see my absolute hero try to target, try to ruin my reputation, ruin my chess career, and to do it in such a frivolous way is really, really disappointing. Because you spend your entire life looking up to someone, and then you meet them, and then my dream came true. I lived my dream for a day, beating Magnus, and then all of this happened. So I'm sorry, I forgot what your initial question was.
How do you focus on the Singfield Cup?
Well, when I sit on the board, it's pure, it's all chess. So even today, maybe there are moments during the game where my mind wandered, but when I'm playing chess, that's all there was on my mind. And hopefully it'll stay that way.
Does this bothering you fuel you? Does it make you angry and hungry?
It absolutely fuels me. My fuel has always been maybe not anger, but spite has been a strong fuel for me. When I was started to play chess in the Netherlands, my school teacher told me I wasn't good enough, and that certainly fueled me. I've always been one to prove people wrong, and this absolutely fuels me, and this makes me want to win the tournament even more. And I can come to the game. I can completely strip. You want to do any fair play check to me you want. I don't care, because I know that I'm clean, and they could literally tell me the most ridiculous thing. If they want me to strip fully naked, I'll do it. I don't care, because I know that I'm clean, and I'm willing to subject myself. You want me to play in a closed box with zero electric transmission? I don't care. Name whatever you guys want. I'm here to win, and that's going to be my goal regardless.
Hans, very candid words. Guys, any questions?
On the contrary, a very heartfelt interview. Your emotion spoke for itself. Hans, all we can say is enjoy your free day, stay away from social media, and keep your head in the game.
Yeah, I think much of this needed to be said, and I think it's very good that it has been said. Thanks for coming in and doing this. Yeah, and I just before I go, I just thank you guys for giving me the chance to speak, and I'm sure many people are going to be seeing this, and I just would like to hope that everyone keeps an open mind and understands that chess is my entire life, and I've sacrificed everything for this game, and I'm willing to do anything to improve myself and to improve at chess. So this is I'm sorry, but the chess is everything to me. So I think that's all I need to say.
Absolutely, you've said plenty, Hans. Thanks for joining us here, guys. We're coming up.